Hi everyone. Let me know how you hear me. Everything sounds okay? So this is the last week tutorial, so I will take it off. No, actually 2 weeks ago, sorry. Because I'm using the same type of paper. Please let me know if you hear me clear. I'm using this butter knife. Cool. Let me know who is painting with me, so I know if I have to adjust speed or something. So I'm using the Arch cold press 14 by 20. The reference image is posted on the description. I'm pulling it out for my monitor. So I see 5 people shown on my monitor at least. Is anybody painting with me? Okay, so maybe not, but I will start then. So that was a request to paint a tortoiseshell cat with kitchen salt. So somebody last week asked me to do that. So I choose this photo. It's not the best for the kitchen salt technique, but still there are areas where it will be very useful. The kitchen salt is very easy to overdo it, so that's the danger of it. This is again a very easy shape. The face is sideways. It's much easier, I think. So I think anybody can do this with me. I'm still thinking what to do with the white, because there is just a little white here. But I like it. I think I will keep it. Still nobody, like, please let me know if you paint with me. Then I know I have to wait or ask if I can start to continue and stuff like that. Also, it would be nice if somebody painting, not just me. So I'm making a sketch, and then I will put down a little masking fluid, not much, but a little bit. It just makes things easier. So I think I'm done with the drawing. I mean the pencil drawing. So I'm picking up the masking fluid. This is what I use, if you're interested. And I have the reed stick. It's linked in the previous live tutorial description because a lot of people asked. I didn't know, but I discovered that it's now available in black. I never ordered from there, but I bet it's the same or very similar. So again, with masking fluid, I usually test just to, before I start to draw, I want to see how thin the line will be. And when you test after dip, the big drip can just go on the waste paper and not on your painting. Although if it's happened, it's not a big deal. You just wait until it's dry and then you can remove it. But you need to wait until it's dry. And if it's a big drip, that can take a long time. So I see 13 people watching, at least based on my monitor. Anybody is working with me? So it will be a little wait time now because the masking fluid needs to dry. So while I'm waiting, I will prepare the paint. So I put this aside a little bit. And so I have my ceramic dish with the leftover paint from last week. So what I do I just add a little bit of Daniel Smith's fresh lamb black, but not too much because I have a lot in a dish already. And I can do this later if it's not enough. And I use a spray bottle. So you can totally work without spray bottle, it just helps things. So I'm adding some water, not too much because I want a pretty dense paint. It's called the heavy cream consistency. That's what I'm going for. So I'm using my paint. That's probably the brush I will use to paint. So the only important thing, don't have like crumble, like paint crumble in your brush because it just stains very differently the paper. It's not a big deal if it's happened, but it's just annoying. So I splashed on my painting, if I see it correctly. And I don't know even how because it's so far. But I use a big brush, lot of water to remove, if it happens to you, clean paper. I think it's okay. That's so weird. How did it go that far? Okay, I think it's good. Putting on a side here. And I dilute a little bit the other colors. So I have a plastic tray. Just let you know the orange looks so much more wild on a monitor. It's not as crazy for sure. So think about that when you watch. It's not like neon orange. It's just really normal. It's all paint, so we will see how much I can. Redilute. Here's another darker, probably darker orangey brown. Like a brick color, or I don't know how it's called officially. I will take a third brush for the transparent orange, which is this one. Maybe I just put out a little fresh paint because it's maybe not enough dense for my purpose. So here is the transparent orange I'm using. You mean the color names? It's so the brand name is Horadam, and this one transparent orange. But it didn't. It's Daniel Smith don't call the same color or very similar color to transparent orange, but they every brand has this color. I don't know. I forgot how Daniel Smith call it, but I know that one of the brand called Chinese Orange, and I really like that color. It's very similar. It's from a French watercolor brand, Sennelier. So they call Chinese Orange. The black, I didn't see a big difference between brands, but it's called lamp black in almost in every brand I ever seen, because they're burning something, and somehow it's more consistent than the orange. The most brand call it, well, I think all brand call it lamp black because of the pigment, but I'm not sure about this. But I never seen other names. Okay, so the orange is ready too. I need to make some space here. So let's see. So I removed some of the wrong, because I wasn't watching, and so the whiskers coming this way, not back. So the one I drew first in the wrong place, I just removed it. Okay. So still nobody is painting. So next thing, I try to make sure it's in the view. So next thing, I wet the paper. You can use a big brush, something like this. It's a no-name brush. Called the brush type called Mottler brush, and if you buy it, unless you want the best quality, I think it's not worth. It depends on what you're using it for, but if you just use it for this kind of things, don't buy pricey one, because as you can see, it has a lot of hair. And if you buy good quality hair, this brush will be so expensive because it's just huge. So, and in my opinion, I never needed high quality on this. And this is really good. This is also usually in a Chinese section of art stores. There is not even a label on it, so I cannot even tell. And I bought it like 10 years ago, maybe 15. Honestly, you can see it's all rusty. But I love the most. Actually, I bought some pricey Mottler, and I'm always still using this one. So, okay, so I just let this getting a little bit soaked. I can use the brush to remove little, I don't know, hair or something stuck on your paper. So I think it's good. You don't want puddle or any big amount of water. I mean, depend on your idea what you want to do, but I don't want that now. It can be quite useful for other things to get puddly water, but this case, I just want everything evenly wet. And what I want, it's wet. It's really wet, but not dripping anywhere. So, and it's still shiny a little bit, but it's starting to lose shininess, and that's the best time to start. So let's start with the orange and the dark, like the, let the dark, like the black later. So I'm just putting down the big surfaces. And also where you want these little orange spots, you put down a good orange background. We will overpaint that when it starts to dry with black in many places, But when you use the salt, if you don't have the orange underpaint, you still, when you add the salt, it will bring back the paper white and not orange. So it's just good to have orange on a paper on many places. So painting the tail. So you can see I'm just using very brave, and I'm just trusting my paint and my paper to get those furry effects. How is it going? Anybody's doing something with me? I always hope somebody will paint, but it's the third time I'm doing online and nobody painted in any. Maybe the face area, it's better to leave it later. So I was a little bit stupid, because if it's too wet, it can run too far. But let's hope it won't. We will see. It's not as super wet as it was a few minutes ago. So I'm hoping that. So maybe now, let's hope nothing crazy happens. So this is exactly the time when you can start to do washbacks, which means that you add clean water, and also you can add salt. But salt is important to add when you have this not shiny but not dry paint surface. So if you add washbacks, which I'm trying now, and that will mean that the paint will be pretty soaked with water, those area is not good for salt, where it's very wet, because the salt effect come out really good only if it's almost dry, but if you touch, you still get black on your hand, but it's not shiny anymore. So this area would be perfect, for example. So I want to use a lot of salt, not a lot of salt. I just want to use the salt a little bit around this area, like this, probably. So maybe I'm just trying not to wet those up, but you can see this beautiful, I mean, I can see now on my monitor, it's not really visible yet, but if you want to have some washback effect, which is coming from the just adding water, that's also a good time. But those areas where it's puddly, don't add salt. So I tried several salt regarding crystal size, and you can see those pink were very big and didn't work out at all. It didn't do anything. For me, the best was always the small. So I don't know how much it's visible. It's a small crystal. And you really need to take a very tiny pinch and just very, very tiny and spread it on the area and make sure you not overdo it. It's easy to overdo, and then when it's overdue, it just looks like a pattern, like a textile pattern. It's the same everywhere, and it's not good. I'm just wetting this white area here to have some. I will paint. I will work on a face later more a little bit. I'm adding water here around the tail too, just to have a little washbacks. Yeah, it's way too orange on a monitor. So, and I'm adding a little black here. Okay, so I really hope it will work out. Okay, one more thing. Before I do this, I want orange. A little bit here and there. Okay, let's hope. So with the salt, you won't see anything for the first few minutes, and then a surprise came. So this is why it's really easy to overdo with the salt, because you don't see it when you do it. You will see it in 5 minutes or even hours, because the salt will work until it's not dry. So I'm not suggesting overdoing the salt. It's usually not a good thing. Okay, so let's wait a little bit and see the salt effect. I want to see, I don't want to overdo it. So this area is a little bit too wet for the salt, I think. We will see. I added salt there, but I'm not sure it will work. Also, I'm watching if something overflow, I can interfere. Thank you, Nicole. You will be the first one to paint with me if you do it next time. And so far, I don't remember anybody saying painting with me. So you can see it's overflow here around the nose, which is making me quite unhappy, but let's try to remove on time. So I don't know, you can see or not. Maybe I try to move the camera. I never did this, and I'm really afraid I can't put it back right, but let's try. So you can see maybe the white spots, and you can see this one here. That's the washback effect of the water. And these dots, lighter dots, and you can see it's coming on the black, but it's not paper white, it's orange, because the first layer of orange. You can see a little bit here. Also, the salt effects start to work. Here you can see dots. So let's see. Of course not. Okay. It will be a little bit like this, because it's usually take me time to adjust. So it will be a little bit tilted, I guess. So I'm just waiting a little bit, and maybe I add water more here and there, and maybe I even add more paint. So with the salt, because it's I'm not sure this is the correct name, but it's called, I think, hygroscopic. It's keep water. So the salt make things drying much slower. And so this painting will dry probably for overnight or something. So I'm not even sure I can finish the face today. We will see if it's enough dry to remove the masking fluid, or I will do it in the beginning of the next section. Because if I can't remove the masking fluid, then I cannot finish. And that's only possible when it's dry. And it's easier when you have like, it's easier when you don't have the salt. So you just use, I used in a previous session, I used hair dryer and it worked. But I don't know with the salt. Also black coming into the eye, which I don't want. So I'm trying to keep it out. The masking fluid usually stop this to happen, but sometimes it still happens. So I'm trying to mimic these little patterns here and there. I hope this will work on a face. So there will be a second layer of salt here and there when I can see it's ready to. You can see here it was too wet and the salt is just, it's not making pattern, it just crumble up and gets soaked. So this is why it's important to use the salt in the right time. Using the little darker brownish orange here. And I use a little, just like a dirty brush color to just get some definition here. You can do this two ways. You can make the background a little bit darker. And then keep this very white, or you can make it a little bit gray, the cat. Sorry, somebody's writing to me, I have to check. I'm reading now and try to answer. Yeah, so if you don't like what the saw doing or you overdid it, my suggestion is if it's very wet, just use a paper towel and remove it, the whole area with the paper towel, and maybe even take a clean brush and wet it up again and then wash it again and just use as a new surface. Like I just did before when it was not great. You can also just finish up how it is and let it dry completely. And when it's dry, then you remove the salt, but it's only possible when it's completely dry, so it's probably take overnight. Then you remove the salt with clean hand and make sure it's not staining anything, because because you need to like scrub over, like the salt will very attach to the paper, so it's sticking on the paper, but you can remove it, like just rub it. So, but just make sure, check your hand if it's colors coming or not, so you're not making mess. But so you remove all the salt and then just use a big brush and make the area wet again, a bigger area, like just very fast with one layer of wetness. So don't do this with the brush, just like one layer wetness and then just paint again. So it will work. But you can do it now if you can remove that area with a paper towel. So I think it's for me, it's a time to some places. So here it's pretty dry, like you see, it's not staining my hand. I can't, like, even if I add salt, it will do nothing. So I'm going to this area. Something was in my salt dish, a little bit on the face maybe. So where it's dry, like here, when it's not staining your hand anymore, the salt won't do anything. So it's just the wet area, but if it's very wet, that's again, the salt won't work because it just gets soaked. I usually use a forceps if something like this happens. So I got beautiful salt effect here and here. I got a little bit of good salt effect here. And I would like to have a little more, but not much more. I think it's very easy to overdo it. And I don't know, maybe I wet up a little bit here, and when it starts to dry, maybe I can add a little salt here. So for example, this is almost dry here, but I don't like this very straight edge. So I show you what I meant. So you take a clean brush. It can be a smaller brush, but I'm using this one. Make it wet, but not like super wet. And I'm just wetting up again this area. I'm using old paper towel to just make it wet, but so remove some wetness because I don't want it dripping or anything. So you see, I can re-wet again here, this area. And I already lost that very sharp line. But if I want a little bit of new furring out, I can add a little paint and it probably will fur out again. I don't know what's happening. I'm not picking this up. So you can see it's furring out again. Can you hear? So around the face, it's maybe worth to use a little bit thinner brush, but you don't need to use some extreme thin. Okay, so I think this is the last salt I'm doing here. Maybe a little bit here. And I want to add some black, and then it's really waiting. So I will have time to read and answer questions. So if you have things like that, just let me know. I'm gonna add a little orange here. Okay, so now I'm waiting. I will change one of my bowl of water because it's really black. And actually maybe both of them, because now I just rinse the brushes and it's really dirty. And then I wait. I only need this area dry to finish the head, but I'm not sure I will get that today. We will see. So I'm back with the clean water. Yeah, this is yeah, too much, too wet. So I bring a hair dryer probably and try. Let's see if it's work, and if not, then I have to give up for today, and then I will finish just the face area next time. But let's try with the hair dryer. So regarding the real color, it's pretty much it's a just a little bit brighter the orange than the photo. So it's nothing as crazy as as the monitor. I mean the webcam. So the webcam is really crazy bright. It's the real painting is much more close to the reference photo regarding color brightness. So I finally made the hair dryer work. So I mean, you can pull down the volume if you want. Sorry, this will be noisy. So I dry a little bit with the hair dryer. Let's see. When I'm touching it, it's look good. So the salt also coming off on the head area. I hope I'm not doing any big mess. But paint is not coming really, so it's a good news. So let's try. Okay, look like it's working. Okay, so now I'm using small brush. I don't know, maybe like this. I cannot tell what is the number because it's missing. I can see I left some masking fluid here. I just overpaint a little bit here to not get so unnaturally bright white. And I need to work a little bit on the nose shape also here. So I need to paint the eye, but I can't do it until this surrounding black is wet, because then it will just right away run into the black right away will run into the middle of the eye. So I'm just finishing the black and I need to wait on that area to go inside. So until I wait, I use my Faber-Castell Artist Pit Pen, if I found it. I'm looking for, yes, this is good. So it's like this. It has a very small tip, and I draw the area of the whisker, which is on the white surface. So I leave this white, and I'm continue with the black. Okay, go a little bit around the eye for details. Oh, this photo is really hard with the pupil is barely visible, so it's weird, kind of. Okay, we will see. I hope it won't look like a blind cat or something. Again, I found a little masking fluid here. Okay, getting there. You can message me while I'm waiting. So, is there any preference what to paint? What cat or what other thing next time? No, nothing. If you send me photo on the Instagram about your cats, I might use it for this tutorial. I mean, not this one, but the next one. What is the T? Oh, it retracted. Then I never know. So I will pick up a thin brush and a light yellow color, just real yellow, maybe a little bit greenish to the eye. So unfortunately, I have this black color in the eye because the leakage I recognized too late and it was already stained the paper pretty strong. But I think it's still okay. A long hair cat. Can you send me photo? I really like to paint long hair cat. Long hair cat have a really good chance to use washbacks. It's a really good way to paint, yeah, the long hair cat with washbacks. So that's a good idea. I just need, I actually, so this website, which I'm using the reference photo, it's you can use it freely. So I will look if there is a good long haircut maybe. So a Torti calico. Now have unmuted. Calico grays and creams. Oh, like when the orange is not bright, but that's what you mean, like almost like pinkish, light pink or light peach color and gray. Yeah, I think I know what you mean. Okay, I will see. I'm a little bit dependent on a photo I'm getting because, you know, I cannot use anything without permission. So I depend on what I can find on free places where there are free photos. So I will look around. But then I try to look something either long hair or that other color combination. I don't think I ever painted one like that. the muted calico. So you can see the salt effect. I think it worked out pretty nice. And I think I didn't overdo it, which is rare. It's very easy to overdo it. Maybe I can take, since it's ready, it's need to dry and things like that, but it's kind of ready. So I'll just show a little bit. I have a new phone, so I want to try that too, but I need to first learn it. So you can see the salt effect. It's not bad. And here also, on the back area. It's not a great webcam, but it was $20, so I can't complain. So the salt, I think the salt effect is quite nice. And I think it's really important not to put it everywhere. Because you just love it when you do it and just put it everywhere. On the end, it will look like I don't know, it will look weird if it's everywhere. So it's kind of a good balance. And I will post this on Instagram, and there you will see the real colors when it's dry and everything. Then I will take a photo and post it. It won't be that crazy orange. So it's so weird how bright orange is on the monitor. Yeah, so it was an easy painting, I think. I think even beginners can do it. Is it possible to make the therapy longer? Of course, but then you have to paint it differently. Yes, absolutely. But then you have you start that way, that you know what you're painting a longer haircut. Oh, that's cool. If you can send me the photo. I have a Facebook, and I know people always asking my Facebook, and I'm happy to. You can use the Facebook. The problem is I am not using the Facebook, but maybe I will look. So if you don't have the Instagram, then maybe you can send it to Facebook. But yeah, it would be better. The Instagram, I really suggest. I don't like social media, and I'm trying not to use much. I only use Instagram because on Instagram I found the best artworks always. So I found so good painters and so interesting artists there all the time who post nothing else, just their artwork. And that's not, I mean, I didn't found this happening to any other social media site. So I really like the Instagram. I know it's terrible when people post their butts there and everything, and I don't know, I'm sick of the whole thing. But if you want to look good art, really good art, which is made by current living artists, and they are not famous, or I don't know, they all on the, I mean, most of them are on the Instagram, and it's so good to see there. Oh yeah, not, yeah. I don't, Facebook. I absolutely not open it for weeks. Although there are useful things there, I signed up for groups for photos for artists and things like that, but I just never open it. So I suggest the Instagram, honestly, for artists to look other artists, currently working artists. The Instagram, I think, is the best. And yeah, it's if you like one artist, you will see who that artist follow, and you will find so many good ones. So I love I love the Instagram in that regard. Okay, I'm saying goodbye then. If not, no other question, please watch my videos all the way if you can, or suggest to other people. I really would like to reach the point when I can monetize my channel to earn some money because then I can paint more. Otherwise, I have to work most of the time. And so that would be very helpful. I need 4,000 watch hours. I already got the followers numbers ready to monetize, but I need the watch hour much higher than what I have right now. So this is how you can help me. Watch the videos all the way. If you want more tutorials from me, I have a bunch on Skillshare. Skillshare you can use for free for a week or 2 weeks, something like that, depend on the promotion. You need to read it carefully. So you can use it free and then you can sign off. And especially if you have a vacation time and you want to paint, you can get that week free and you can look around very well and try things. And if you like, you can stay. So I have several videos there, many cats. Some is much more complicated than this one, but some are easy, and other things like landscape, portrait, and flower painting also. And other than that, I have the Instagram, so you can find me, I don't know, I think Bodor Watercolor, that's my Instagram. And otherwise, you can, if you want to buy original, which would be a huge help, I'm selling them on Etsy and Saatchi Art. So I suggest the Etsy because the Etsy didn't charge you like, so the Saatchi Art take off a lot, like 35%. So the prices are much higher there because you give a price and they add 35% there on it. So I compensate partially to that, but I can't compensate the whole. So Etsy or Saatchi Art under the name Bodorka, if you wanna sell, if you wanna buy original. So this is how you can help me. And actually, I wanna say Etsy. I have a promotion, 30% off everything right now. I did it for Mother's Day, but I keep it up for, I don't remember, I think it's finished on May 20. So if you want to buy original on Etsy, I have a 30% sale right now. Maybe you're interested. Okay, so thank you for being here with me. I got several promises that next time people will paint with me. I don't want to promise when it will happen. Most probably it's next week, same time. But I don't want to promise because who knows what happens next week, same time. But around Thursday, I will post it, the plan. So you can see, and I will post probably the reference photo also, so you can prepare. And thank you so much for being here. And goodbye. Have a nice day, everybody. And I'm counting on the people who told that they will paint because it would be really much more fun if people paint with me, I think. Bye-bye. Thank you.